Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. One of the major storylines heading into the 2025 Formula One season is Red Bull's driver lineup change. After several seasons alongside Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez has been let go, with Liam Lawson stepping up to take his place. But was this the right call for Red Bull? Fans are divided, and it's a hot topic of debate. Let us know in the comments if you think Perez should have been given one more year to prove himself. The move comes as Red Bull aims to create a more balanced and competitive team. According to team principal Christian Horner, the goal is to have 2 drivers who can consistently score points and push the team forward. Perez struggled to keep up with Verstappen's pace in recent seasons, and this inconsistency played a key role in the decision to promote Lawson. In a recent interview, Horner made it clear that Verstappen remains the team's primary focus. Red Bull is fully committed to helping Max secure another world championship. While Horner praised Lawson's potential, he also acknowledged that the young driver is not expected to immediately challenge Verstappen. Instead, Red Bull is banking on Lawson to deliver steady performances and support Verstappen's title ambitions. Horner also took the opportunity to compare Red Bull's situation with other teams on the grid, particularly Ferrari. With Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc as Ferrari's new driver pairing, Horner believes their rivalry could hinder the team's championship hopes. At Ferrari, they have 2 top-tier drivers who will inevitably compete fiercely against each other, potentially taking points off one another throughout the season, he remarked. This internal battle could make it difficult for either Ferrari driver to emerge as a clear title contender. By contrast, Red Bull's plan is to maintain harmony within the team. Horner emphasized that Lawson understands his role for the upcoming season and knows that Verstappen is the #1 driver. "We won't face the same issues as Ferrari," Horner confidently stated. Red Bull's approach is to avoid inter-team rivalry and focus all their efforts on Verstappen's success. However, Horner also made it clear that Lawson's position is not guaranteed. Red Bull has Yuki Tsunoda waiting in the wings, and if Lawson fails to meet expectations or disrupts team harmony, Tsunoda could step in. This pressure could push Lawson to stay in line and embrace his role as Verstappen's support driver. While Red Bull is optimistic about this new lineup, the big question remains. Will Liam Lawson fully accept being the second driver, or could tensions rise as the season progresses? Only time will tell, but history has shown that managing egos and ambitions in F1 is never an easy task. Red Bull's strategy for 2025 is clear: a top-tier driver and a reliable support act. But will this formula prove successful, or could it backfire and cause internal friction? The spotlight is now on Lawson to prove his worth and show that he can handle the pressures of racing at the highest level. Sergio Perez will no longer be a Red Bull driver in the upcoming Formula One season. The team and the Mexican driver have reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract, paving the way for Liam Lawson to step into the seat alongside Max Verstappen for 2025. This decision leaves Perez without a spot on the grid, potentially marking the end of his F1 career. For some, there was a plausible solution to Red Bull's internal challenges: transferring Perez to their junior team, Racing Bulls. This move could have allowed Perez to stay active in the sport while also bringing his valuable experience to Red Bull's second team. However, Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, revealed in a recent interview that such an option was never seriously considered. According to Horner, the team believes that at this stage of Perez's career, a transition to a junior team would not be practical. Red Bull has made it clear that their junior team is intended to nurture emerging talent, providing young drivers with a path to the main squad. Horner emphasized that placing an experienced driver like Perez in the Racing Bulls lineup would go against their developmental strategy. "Our second team exists to cultivate future stars, not to accommodate seasoned veterans," Horner stated. Moreover, Red Bull's approach to managing its driver program has always focused on identifying and promoting rising talents. This philosophy has seen drivers like Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo ascend through the ranks. By sticking to this model, Red Bull aims to maintain its competitive edge while preparing the next generation of champions. Horner further clarified that the decision to part ways was driven by Perez himself. According to the team boss, Perez expressed a desire to explore other opportunities outside of the Red Bull framework. It was ultimately Sergio's call to step away from the team. We respected his choice and supported him throughout the process, Horner explained. For Perez, the question remains. Was this the right move at this point in his career? Some believe that continuing to race for Racing Bulls would have kept him in the spotlight and potentially opened doors for future opportunities. Others argue that stepping away now might be the best option to preserve his legacy. As the 2025 season approaches, Red Bull seems confident in their new driver lineup. Lawson, who has impressed in various junior categories, will face the challenging task of racing alongside Verstappen. The team expects him to contribute valuable points and play a supportive role in Verstappen's pursuit of another world championship. Meanwhile, the Formula One community continues to speculate on Perez's next steps. Will he find a new team willing to take a chance on his experience and skill, or has the curtain fallen on his remarkable career? Only time will tell. What do you think? Should Perez have considered a position in the Racing Bulls, or was stepping away from F1 the right decision at this point in his career? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Carlos Sainz became one of the most sought-after drivers at the end of the last Formula One season, with several top teams, including Red Bull and Mercedes, showing interest in him. However, in a surprising turn of events, he ended up signing with Williams instead of securing a spot in a leading team. The big question is, what went wrong for Sainz, and why couldn't he land a better deal? According to Flavio Briatore, Alpine's consultant, the answer is quite clear. In an interview with Automotor Unisport, Briatore directly addressed the situation, explaining that Sainz's high salary demands and lack of long-term commitment made him an unattractive option for many teams. "We don't need a driver who is extremely expensive and yet not fully committed to the team's project," Briatore stated. The interview shed light on Sainz's priorities during contract negotiations. Briatore claimed that Sainz was more focused on staying active in Formula One to keep his chances open for a move to a bigger team when the opportunity arises. This mindset reportedly influenced his contract with Williams, which includes several exit clauses that allow him to leave if a better offer comes his way. While this approach might make sense for Sainz personally, it seems to have closed some doors for him within the F1 paddock. Teams are looking for drivers who are willing to commit to a long-term project and grow with the team, rather than someone who views their current seat as a temporary stopgap. Flavio Briatore's comments align with what many have speculated, that Sainz is keeping his options open, but at the cost of long-term stability. For teams like Alpine, Red Bull, or Mercedes, investing in a driver requires trust and the assurance that the driver is in for the long haul. Sainz's perceived reluctance to fully commit might have raised red flags among team principals. Interestingly, Sainz's move to Williams could prove to be a pivotal moment in his career. While Williams may not be a top contender, the team has shown significant progress in recent seasons. If Sainz can help elevate the team's performance, it could boost his reputation and prove that he is capable of leading a project from the ground up. On the other hand, if he struggles to adapt to the team's dynamics or fails to achieve notable results, it could hinder his chances of returning to a top-tier team in the future. The pressure is on Sainz to make the most of this opportunity and prove that he is more than just a stopgap solution for bigger teams. The situation also highlights a broader challenge for F1 drivers. The competition for seats in top teams is fierce, and even talented drivers must navigate complex negotiations, balancing personal ambition with team loyalty. Sainz's case serves as a reminder that in F1, talent alone isn't always enough. Commitment, timing, and strategy play crucial roles. For fans and analysts, Sainz's decision to join Williams raises an interesting debate. Did he make the right move by prioritizing flexibility over commitment? Or would a long-term investment in a smaller team have been a better path to securing a top seat in the future? Only time will tell if Carlos Sainz's gamble pays off. But one thing is certain, his journey in Formula One continues to be one of the most intriguing stories on the grid. So, what do you think? Did Sainz make the right call by keeping his options open, or should he have committed to a long-term project? Share your thoughts in the comments.